Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who are the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to demand you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 407th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I'll be your host today. And once again, we are joined with members and support members of the Universal Council who will be presenting today's workshop. So without further ado, let's begin and get up the workshop program here. And I think we begin with Mark or Dean for the introduction. Welcome.
Go ahead, Dean, if you can. I have the next part.
Okay, thank you. Thank you both. Right, okay, so this is the One Planet, One Nation, One Race, the Universal Council for Justice and World Peace. This is a very a beautiful occasion today because we have a very special energy, a very special influence of field strength that is going to be present with us in these moments to come. And this is a presence, a field strength, a soul that is from a position of the creation that is here to enhance and take humanity into a higher a higher position of field strength. Remember, no, when we're talking about the physicality, we're not talking about being physically stronger or physically weaker. We're talking about the soul interaction and bringing about peace within the soul of physicality, the physicality and the soul of man, and bringing this condition forward from the universal family into the family of humanity that is about to join the universal family. We've always been part of this family. It's just that we've forgotten it a little bit, and we sort of hide it in the background. We have situations going on now where we have celestial objects that are appearing in on the screens of the likes of NASA and others, and we see that the pictures and the images we see are very blurry and don't really show the true essence of it. And then we have amateur peoples that are their pictures are showing much more. So we can hide from this. We can try to hide the field strength and the intentions from humanity. But at some point, this is going to become impossible because humanity feels this knowledge is present and understands the beauty of it. And everybody that I come across in many shapes and forms in physicality and on a soul level, they all feel this and know it. And I always sense when people try to pull away from it or are not ready to accept it. And it's a very big thing. This is why from macro to micro, it's the same from a individual of any description. No one is higher, no one is lower. To some people that claim to be the highest, on the planet. But that deep knowledge understanding within us comes forward. And how does it come forward? How do we react to this? Because in our physical forms, we may not understand it. On a soul level, we know it. It's present with us. It always will be present with us. And that will never change because we are part of a much, much, much bigger picture. And we need to allow and come forward and understand the beauty that is presented to us and the enhancements and the many beautiful parts of creation that will be present with us, and for us to learn and understand more. The knowledge doesn't ever change. It's bringing peace to the soul of man, to the soul of physicality and the physical body. And when we start to match those three up and we become in line with them, then we start to reach this new field strength that is coming forward in the shape of some souls, or a soul that is present to help and guide humanity to the next levels, the next steps. We said this a little while ago. This process is now started, and there's no going back. We have to accept and have to embrace the beauty of the knowledge that is being shared, and have no fear of it, because it is only here to enhance and to give unconditionally. So we receive a new understanding, an enhancement of what we've come to know from our past, the past things we've experienced in many different ways. I know that the soul of physicality has been in contact with many spiritual people, and they're feeling it. They know there's the essence of it present with them. There is much knowledge that's being shared from the past through civilizations and other understandings that have predicted these certain events that are about to unfold. And we all feel it. Everybody on the planet feels it. All the souls know that what is to come, what is present with us in these moments. And it just, and only understand that it is a beauty. It is a wonderful thing for each and every one of us to understand. It doesn't mean anything that is going to happen to us is going to be in the wrong way. It means it's going to enhance us and give us what we need in the moment to bring us peace within, and to create new environments, new understandings for us to to walk forward, or to be present in a centralized energy, maybe, which is on a soul level. So multiple dimensions. So welcome to the One Planet, One Nation, One Race. And I'm sure this will be a very wonderful and enlightening presentation to follow. Thank you. Thank you, Mark, if you'd like to say something.
No, that was well done, Dean. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
We're going to just cover the peace treaty briefly, although it'll be a long-standing document. And want to thank everybody for choosing to be here with the Keshe Foundation. But as we hear in the teachings, it's not you who chose to be here. Your soul chose you to be here. So the soul is working in the background. And as we heard in the intro, it's time for man to go through a process, probably multiple processes. But one of the main processes is to become more peaceful and to strengthen the soul to show a new dimension. As we know, there's no religions in space, and there's no CO2 in space, and the behavior of the man, or stopping the soul of man from killing in space, is one of the main objectives. And we never really looked at it. I mean, most of us believe we are peaceful, and for the most part, I think we are, but yet there is this dimension of stealing energies or killing others to maintain our own structure. Mr. Keshe says I don't call it killing, I call it stealing energies. But every man is responsible for his own behavior, and it affects. What I was listening to earlier was the 34th Knowledge Seekers Workshop at about an hour and 13 minutes or 14 minutes, where again, it's us who have to become more peaceful. And this is the new strength of the soul. And of course, there's systems being in place to strengthen that we can actually exist without the killing and destruction or the stealing of energies. Apparently, this planet has not, due to the way the creation happened, all of the energies we need to be a peaceful person, to exist here. The creation left us a bit short. So what's happening is new energies are being introduced in the environment, and we'll see how the plasmas, which is us, start to behave differently. This is the process I think we're going through that strengthen the soul of physicality and, of course, the soul of the man as well to become a completely peaceful person. Again, this process will take time, but there's many supporting systems to allow this. We know the sun is involved, the three eye, the swan R2, the soul of this planet, and of course the universal community as well, to bring us into this family. I was thinking earlier, yes, they can come and visit us at our home, but can we visit them at their home unless we're truly peaceful? As he indicated, some of these entities in space have much more morals than the man has ever had. So we're going to have to step up our game a bit, but it's not going to be a difficult task. As we know, working with the plasma is easy and it doesn't take a lot of work. So again, moving into a correct behavior position. And then, of course, in that same little clip, he mentioned about the gift of the three wise men, about thinking correct and acting correct, that you don't harm others, and talking correct. So not only is our physicality involved in this, but within our structure of the thinking, speaking, and acting, we're also creating plasmas, and sometimes perhaps negative plasmas. But this is the key to get that thinking, speaking, and acting more in line with a peaceful behavior. And if you do this, as he said, Mr. Keshe indicated that he's always mentioned about not stealing. So if we talk correct and we act correct, we're not harming others. This is all part of that whole process, that we're not a thief. And this is the way to become that, not stealing energies from the others. And we can do it with the physicality, and we can do it, again, with our thinking and our speaking. So it's up to you to apply it to yourself. It's not enforced, but again, the energies of the environment, I think, will strengthen the soul to take up that position. And as I said earlier, we need to stop the soul of the man from killing in space. And maybe the soul doesn't kill in space, but as it makes a physical manifestation, that leads to the same behavior as we've seen. It's only a small part of the whole creation, but apparently they don't want this to continue, and we won't be allowed to join the universal community unless we become the truly peaceful creatures that we were set to be. So again, this is what the world leaders will sign. This is what the religious leaders will sign, again, with a pen or with the pen of your soul, and start moving in this direction. But this is the process of what the man and humanity is going through at this time. And as Dean said, I think a lot of people are starting to feel there is the change in the air. Perhaps they're smelling it plasmatically in a way. Some energies are touching the soul. And as Mr. Keshe said, he's been thinking about releasing the fields of love. That dog who always barks and wants to bite you may become quite friendly, and so won't the people on this planet. So this is what we're looking forward to, change of the energies on this planet, and it's going to affect everyone. And of course, we have a system to do this. This is the actual copy of the World Peace Treaty. It looks rather simple, but it's quite deep as we understand more and more. I've only thought of killing other people was wrong, but now we understand when a entity has a soul, this becomes sacrosanct. And again, it's a conundrum. How do we survive without eating that apple or picking that orange and consuming it? But as we understand, the creator exists and operates across the universe without doing any of that sort of behavior, just working with fields. And this is the way the new teaching is going. But the energies will come in, the souls will change, we'll all become more peaceful and more loving. But feel free to sign it. I think this is a little reactor in a way that you're starting to create just by endorsing it with a pen, or as he said, you'll never see anything written in the universe, so you can endorse it with the pen of your soul. But it's up to you. Again, this is not enforced in a way. It's up to you to move in that direction, become more peaceful, And this is one of the things Mr. Keshe was saying about the free eye, that the captain was controlling the ship with his emotions or with his thoughts. And in the 34th workshop, Mr. Keshe was saying this is why some of the systems won't respond to you, because you're not peaceful. It will not interact, and you have bad intentions or bad thoughts or wrong thinking. The system will not interact. So it would behoove you to become more peaceful, and obviously it'll open up all new dimensions for you. Again, I always thought I was a peaceful person, and but now, as you go deeper into the teachings, you're finding out that we may be offending in more of the areas than we thought. But this is part of the enlightenment, where we start to gain a new strength of the soul, that we don't need to steal from others to maintain our own energy. We can work with the fields, give and take, and meet our needs in a way. And of course, the systems will help this whole process to bring it to a fulfillment where it becomes ingrained in basically your first nature rather than your second nature. So thank you all for listening. If anyone else wants to add anything here, please do. And again, it's between you and your behavior in a way. And this is the strength that's coming with the elevation of the fields on this planet to change the behavior of the plasma by just introducing different energies into the environment. And we know the One Nation Network is set to do this and much, much more. So thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mark. May I just quickly say something? So this is Dean again. If I could just say that the World Peace Treaty, this document, if you notice, the words are very simple. They're very precise, and they are very direct to the whole meaning of being present on a soul level and physicality. They're not. It's not written like man does, with many clauses and many sub clauses and everything else that's attached to many documents these days. They're very complicated and many words, and they can be hundreds, if not thousands, of pages long. This is a very simple document, and it really is between yourself and your soul. Yourself and your soul, and how you conduct yourself within your very being, within your position in your nation, your territory, the council, the religion. How do you conduct yourself within your religion? The city you live, or surrounding area, the town. Are you in a town, a township? Or you're an individual, that you keep yourself to yourself and observe from the outside. However, you still have this deep, direct connection to all through the essence, the living essence and the beauty of the centralized energy within inside yourself. And that World Peace Treaty directly connects from the Creator to yourself, to the very core being of yourself. So when you look at the words that are within this World Peace Treaty, you realize how easy it is to start from this moment, connect right now, because these words are very simple. As I said, they're very direct, and they have a very significant meaning on a multi-dimensional energy field transmission, transmutation of everything. And the moment we speak it, the moment the intention is sent out from yourself, then the environment receives this. It knows. When you walk into a room and the animals react to certain people, they come towards people when they know people are very, peaceful. And when they know somebody comes in with a certain field strength, they react in a different way. They either guarding or protecting, or just understanding the field strength, and they instantly, within a second, know the moment of intention. With the World Peace Treaty, your soul knows this. Your soul of physicality is catching up to the soul. The physicality is present and very busy most of the time. The soul of the man is a guidance, a beauty that's connected to the essence of creation. And this is where the World Peace Treaty, you sign it from your soul. And you can use the pen of man if you so wish, or you can sign it right now in this very moment. Commit to it, commit to peace within, right in this very moment. And then see the difference in the field strength in your very cells of your body, the very essence of you, and see how this projects forward and what it transmits to, so that when we meet the universal family, they understand that you've become peaceful. It's a different interaction. And it becomes very apparent that you've signed the World Peace Treaty from within. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Rick. I think
yes, and it sort of can't be faked. And again, you don't need to be an angel to sign the peace treaty. None of us are angels that I'm aware of, but this is our intention to become more peaceful, to move in that direction, which is the direction of the Creator. As I said, the Creator exists and operates across the universe without any sort of destruction or killing. And this is what we're trying to replicate in a way. And if I made the man in the image of myself, then certainly we have the within our nature to become more peaceful, even to reach the peacefulness of the Creator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mark and Dean. And next we have an excerpt from the 618th Knowledge Seekers Workshop, which was last Thursday, November 27th. And just let me play that now, get that lined up. And we'll begin.
And in today's session, as part of the back support, we are testing with you something totally new. We are, without you knowing, or as part of our work, interacting with the central energy of your body, what you call your soul. And as we interact, it's just like as you stir a cup full of water, and as the water comes out, you pour it into, and you play with it, how it's going to be dripping or squeaking out or whatever. Then we're playing with your physical side. The session is done in two halves, in two different ways. And the reason we do this is in the past few weeks and months, we brought in to strengthen the plasma of the central energy and its behavior towards physicality. Today, there is no such a thing. Today, now, I feel the knowledge seekers, and this will stay in the part of the teachings for centuries to come. You're ready to, what I call, play and shake, or shake and play with. What we are doing, those of you who are with this, we are in the Zoom sessions and most of it in the YouTube and others, should feel, because we are playing with directly with central energy. We gave you enough time to grow. We gave you enough time to understand how to transmute. And now, today, we are pushing you. In a way, we are stirring the cup of your soul, central energy. And with it, we are sending a direct message, instruction, how to do. In the first part is a different emotion, and the second part is totally different emotion, rather unbalanced. I would like to know how you feel. You can write your emotions during the sessions, in the chats or whatever, or let us know in the future. This system is what will be that your emotions, your soul conveys out in the dimension of physicality to another object in space, which means your emotion feels in the dimension of the soul, and then it converts back into the what we call physicality of the soul, or physicality of the man, to manifest itself in emotion. And we would like to know what it creates. In a way, we are working with a dimension of work which is unknown to man, never been done. And we literally haven't disconnected you from, but we are topping up. As you receive the fields, you're shaking it, and in a way, we are dripping it out. But once it comes out, we control it. In a way, I put all the water in the balloon, I shake the balloon, I decide what comes out of the balloon as I squeeze it, and then when it comes out, I decide what I'm going to do with that liquid. I'm going to squeeze it on the floor, somewhere else in the air, or freeze it. So for the first time, we are playing, we are working with the dimension of both, and we are actually interacting with both. This is important for us, as I'll explain in the next couple of weeks. The structure is very simple. As we heard, actually, this is what we just heard in the intro, is some 200 teachings past, and if you listen to it, is as valid as today's teaching. In a way, what it says, and we've gone over this before, as we go into the dimension of the fields of the universe, you have to be aware what comes to you is loaded with what. On this planet, we are used to thousands of different channels of information coming to us on television, radio, mobile phones, which you don't hear any of it selectively. If we have a mobile phone, a system in our hand, we can hear the one which is targeted at us. Your telephone number gives the position where you are, and somebody calls us, Matt, where you are. Your phone rings, it doesn't ring your next door neighbor, or if you have 10 phones in your hand, any of the other. And your soul is exactly that mobile phone. It receives energy. It receives continuous information from right across the universe. This is what your soul, your communication line of universal line, and what we call the soul of physicality and the emotion is. And today, that's what we are testing. We are putting you on a dial number from universe, converting the dimension of the physicality, and we want to see how you react emotionally. And this become an imprint into the work of the man. If any of you get this right, if any of you switches to this line, by around 19th, 20th of December, you know what we've done with you. There is a reason we do this test today. We repeat it in different dimension next week. We are opening the dimension of you recognizing transmutation, communication, transportation, and everything in together. A situation could arise in the next 3 weeks, around just before Christmas, that some of you might connect to this line, might hear this line, might have the emotion of understanding the line of universal communication. Depends on how in the next 2 or 3 weeks we make you ready for it. Those who are panelists, they can see our lines are open on the line. It's already we're transmitting this information through. We already have set up for you to understand what is the emotion of the soul and what is the emotion of physicality and what you're going to do with it. Does it bring you joy? Has it brought you happiness? Has it brought you to understand? Has it connected you how you're feeling now at the moment? At the same time, can you feel connection to the grandma who died 10 years ago, or your mom in another part of the world, and at the same time you're here? Do you need a mobile phone? The session today is for us to see how much we can shake your soul from our side, and to see how you physically react, because once it comes, as I said to you many times, the plasma is a DC. When it goes through its boundary, it becomes AC. Today we are playing with both of them for you. This is why our systems are on. And we never done this. We always had the support of the what we call different structure as energy. Now we are not dealing with energy, because your energy is already part of this. Understand how to play with the fields and how to play with the emotion of the fields, you can transmute. And this is a process we have set up in the background today. The whole structure of the teaching today is not the talk, is what we are doing with you in the background. In how we are tweaking with the energies, and how we are tweaking with the what I call energies in the motion of the interaction, what we call the emotion. And then you play with the dimension of physicality. In so many ways, you as knowledge seekers today are deciding about yourself. And what we are doing is just that you don't remember you have your money in your pocket, we're just throwing it out and we're showing it to you. And we're creating condition that you feel that giving, you feel what your soul gives to your physicality. We have set the structure today that we don't play with the plasma fields. We play with the process of creation, which is totally different thing. As I said before, in the last few weeks, you have the ocean. If you create that pressure on it, you see the waves. It can be on the wind of the shore, or it can be a tsunami and destroying everything else, and the hurricane that it takes inside and outside altogether. This phase of teaching, this phase of process is something which we started a few weeks ago in our all even laboratories. That gradually we move to the real position of the matter and energy, and at the same time as we define energy, magnetic field in motion, we decide what we cut in it Are we cutting a smaller slice or a bigger slice? Are we throwing this slice in the air, or are we swishing around? It's a slice sitting there. Till I don't give it to you, hand it over to you, or I throw it at you, or I throw it in the garden, or whatever, it has no difference. Has no meaning, because once you receive it, it's food to you. Once you receive it, it's love to you. Once you receive it, that slice is the emotion that it brings life back to you to confirm your existence. And the two go together. And this is what, as knowledge seekers, you have to understand. We talked about the fields, communication with the universe, and the field directly to the creator. And in this process, you have both. The way we set up things for you today, any of your wishes to reach the soul of the creator, you shall be there. It's you who have to decide. In the second part, after the break, we change the system. In a way, we become lower, and then we see how you feel. Today, at this section, is balance, but with elevation of the time, elevation of the field forces in a sequential manner. In the second part, we change. You feel the difference. Then you have to make a decision. Then you know, I want to be back, or I don't want to be back. I feel safe, I feel happy. Or there is something else I feel inside me, emotions that I cannot explain in a physical dimension. Today's session is not playing with the fields. Today's session is playing with forces. We usually used to put sessions once a month to do this, but we got to the point that this cannot be done. It needs to change the humanity. It needs to come across that we interact with all of you. You got to realize mankind lives a dual life. One in the dimension of energy, and one in the dimension of physicality. And because he could not understand the dimension of the energy, you have called it a dream. But it's as real as is your physicality. You have run into the position of limitation of the strength of the fields of magnetic fields, that the light is the ultimate speed. You're blocked. You have blocked yourself. You accept the fallacies. But as you understand today, there is no limitation. And the higher order you exchange, the what I call higher strength brings you higher intelligence, understanding, because you see more of. You move into the center of that, you see everything. Try to listen to the teaching of this morning a few times. It's extremely heavy, but it's the beginning and the change. And every time you listen to it, see how you feel emotionally, how you feel physically, how do you feel something inside me moves, wants to become to dimension of transmutation, but I don't know how to control it. This, as I said, this setup is set for physical conversion, where it comes from the soul. And the graphs we see confirms it. In a way, I try to share this with you. It's easier to send it to you direct than me resetting everything up to start with. If you look at this picture, check your, where do I find break? Always hiding somewhere. Just let me find break. Okay. If you look at this, this is a picture in past few minutes from, in a way, all of you. We've seen many, many of these pictures in the past from us. If you look at it, were there hardly any? It's directly from the soul and physicality, and see how heavily the physical part is. Anything below the central line is physical, both on the energy and on the physicality manifestation. And if you look at this picture, it's this is the line of physicality, and if you look at it, there we are. It's so heavy, very little coming down, which is a lot of you can do the transmutation and manifest yourself. And you can feel those conditions inside you. This is one of the part of this test is for the psychosomatic, what we can send from the soul and manifest itself in physicality, which means you all can manifest yourself. And you see it very clearly in this structure, how easily you all sitting in the physical condition with the soul of physicality and your physical manifestation. This, as I said, this setup is set for physical conversion, where it comes from the soul. And the graphs we see confirms it. In a way, I try to share this with you. It's easier to send it to you, to Rick, than me resetting everything up to start with. If you look at this picture, check your, where do I find break? Always hiding somewhere. Just let me find break. Okay. If you look at this, this is a picture in past few minutes from, in a way, all of you. We've seen many, many of these pictures in the past from us. If you look at it, were there hardly any? It's directly from the soul and physicality, and see how heavily the physical part is. Anything below the central line is physical, both on the energy and on the physicality manifestation. And if you look at this picture, it's this is the line of physicality, and if you look at it, there we are. It's so heavy, very little coming down, which is a lot of you can do the transmutation and manifest yourself. And you can feel those conditions inside you. This is one of the part of this test is for the psychosomatic, what we can send from the soul and manifest itself in physicality, which means you all can manifest yourself. And you see it very clearly in this structure, how easily you all sitting in the physical condition with the soul of physicality and your physical manifestation.
All right, that's the end of that excerpt from the 618th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And next we have another excerpt, but this is from the 617th Knowledge Seekers Workshop, called About the Emotion of the Love. And let me play that now. So this is a shorter one, about 3 minutes. See, we have a few more questions in the Q&A here if you want to carry on. Anonymous attendee says, if love is an emotion manifesting interactions very close to the soul of the man, so it may be the common denominator to the path towards the creator as we replicate the basic plasma physics.
You see, there's a very big question mark in, as you put in, love and loving. What we call love and what we see as love, and what is perceived as love, and what is the actual energy of the love. And how we pigeonhole it in our emotion. And what we relate to that emotion with that word, with that emotion, with that behavior. And it's how we play with the structure of it. And then if you interpret love being giving, unconditional, then we understand more into the process of the creation. In a way, I put back into the beginning of the teaching, is that emotion of the love which the creator puts into the plasma of the love, will create that wave, will become, leads to creation. He creates it out of the pressurizing his own plasma, leads to creation of the field, which is the field, the strength of the matter state, which becomes to the creation. That something is created from that wave, that he comes to back to love me. As he said, I made man to make children that they may love me. So even our creator is hungry for love. And he receives as a wave, receives as a pressure impression on the soul of the plasma. He didn't say, I made man to make children to feed me. Because to him there is no physical feeding. He's hungry for a game to play, that he receives emotion, which is emotion itself is creation of waves, confirming his manifestation. In a way, he confirms the soul. I mean, man in the image of myself, which is the soul. I create the soul, that impression of that soul on the plasma of me lead to creation of new life, dimension of physicality.
All right, that completes that excerpt from, again, from the 617th Knowledge Seekers Workshop of November 20th. Okay, back to our presentation. And I believe we have the invitation to celebrate the birthday of the daughter of Mithra. And Andreas, do you have something you'd like to say about that?
Yes, hello Rick, and to everyone. The Universal Council invites you to join us for Mitra's daughter's birthday celebration. Come and bring your unique love. And Mr. Keshe spoke about love, or the unconditional giving. We a lot of times use the word love, but what does it mean? It's, for example, when you have children 3, 4, 5 years old, they are waiting for you at home and you open the door, Mama, Papa, and they run to you and hug you and they give you all the love and they receive all the love just because you are. you all enjoy the love, or if you fall in love with a woman or a man, you just enjoy and give only the best that the other one is happy. And that's unconditional giving or receiving. And on the birthday, in the celebration of Mitra's daughter, it's about that we all come with our love to this meeting. And I made 2 examples for now, but how we all understand love and the unconditional giving is in a way unique for everybody. Maybe you are at the moment you felt in love with somebody and you enjoy it. You are totally lucky, then come with this feeling to this celebration. Or you can remember maybe something in the past where you experienced love and can feel this memory, then come with this love. And don't force yourself. We are all here to share our love, and we want to share it with the daughter of Mitra, with the Creator, with the whole creation. And imagine if we all come together and everyone brings his or her part to this meeting. Isn't that the most beautiful gift what we can bring to the daughter of Mitra? Or also when we share this energy concentration with humanity or all other beings, it's the strength which leads to world peace, and everyone can receive how much he needs. I'm looking forward to feel all your love, and I hope if you have time you come to the meeting and we celebrate together a wonderful meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Andreas. So again, that will be December 6th, Saturday, starting at 2 p.m. Central European Time at the same Zoom channel as our usual workshops. All right, let's carry on to our next part here, which is the wishes. And I will remind our audience that we'll have a full minute of silence for each wish. And I think we begin the wishes with Shweta today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, my dear Rick. Beautiful wishes. We, the Universal Council, celebrate the birth and appearance of the beautiful soul of the daughter of Mitra, blessing from the core of the heart and souls of all souls in existence. Our wish is our command. We are present. We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders and the soul of the universal visitors to understand the transmutation of the soul while humanity learns from the visitors their uses of the plasma, cosmic rays technology, providing mutual benefits and satisfaction to all of us. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul collectively for peace in the world and acceptance of new plasma technology by the leaders.
We, the Universal Council, give from our field strength to empower the world leaders to negotiate and sign the World Peace Treaty, pledging their nations to a permanent and everlasting peace on this planet. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, share our unconditional love with Mr. Keshe to protect him with the love of the Creator.
We, the Universal Council, wish for financial support for all the work of the Keshe Foundation Markway Corporation to be distributed accordingly as one nation, one planet, one nation, one race.
We, the Universal Council, give through our souls to all souls in existence to elevate in the level of understanding the ethos of Mitra, universal love, living life as peaceful beings, respecting all life and living equal. Our wish is our command. We are present.
Next, we have the connection between souls, and that will be with Shweta.
Yes, thank you. As we know now, the soul also craves for love, hungry for love. Then we say, I love you, my soul. I live with you. I love with you. And I adore you. Say, say this word. And see what the soul will give back to you. Join the soul of man with the soul of physicality by speaking these words in this moment. In India, we say, Hey Anadi, Hey Swayambhu, Koti Shay Pranam. Hey, my soul, unlimited, infinite, overwhelming, millions of salute to you. And all the love always to you, dear one. Swayambhu, all that is you. Thank you, dear beautiful soul. Now, always say, I love you, my soul. So, uh, as the soul connection starts, and it is always, we are always connected now with the soul. Now we understand how it is to be in love together, merging. Here in India, we say, merging the Shiva and the Shakti, the soul and the power, the strength, the force, creating the path of peace and freedom for all souls in existence. The soul connection, dear beautiful souls. I will say it in Hindi, the national language of India. And of course, breathing is the first thing we do always. We always breathe as living being, as life and living, dear one. So here we say living being. Breathing is the beauty, prana. So breathe in, feel the breathing and breathing out, my dear beautiful soul. And it will take only 2 minutes, and I will say it in Hindi. Um, and thank you for being here in this soul connection, dear beautiful souls. For all souls, for the peace, for the love, for the abundance of all souls in existence, dear beautiful souls in the ethos of Mitra. So, in now I will say it in Hindi. Um, आप सभी को कोटिशय प्रणाम है, शाश्वत प्रणाम, सलाम, नमस्कार, सल्यूट। आप यहाँ पधारे, आप सब यहाँ हैं, प्रस्तुत हैं, और ये आपको प्रणाम करती हूँ, आपको अभिनंदन करती हूँ, आपको हृदय से शुभेच्छा और शुभकामनाएं देती हूँ आपके यहाँ प्रस्तुत रहने के कारण। और आप सभी को से विनती है कि आप एक जीवात्मा की तरह, जैसे हम लोग श्वास लेते हैं और जीवन को जीते हैं, श्वास को महसूस कीजिए, श्वास लीजिए और श्वास दीजिए। इसी तरह से हम इस सुंदरता को महसूस कर सकते हैं, आत्मा की सुंदरता, दिल की सुंदरता। तो हम 2 मिनट के लिए ये श्वास लेंगे और अपनी आत्मा से रूबरू होंगे। सभी की आत्मा एक साथ, एक विचार, एक मन, शांति और स्थिरता सभी के प्राणों में। तो ये एक तरह से प्रार्थना ही है, समझ लीजिए, धरती माँ के प्रति, गाया के प्रति, उस आत्मा के प्रति जो हमारे लिए यहाँ प्रस्तुत हुआ है। तो हम शुरुआत करते हैं और ये 2 मिनट के लिए होगा, ये मौन 2 मिनट के लिए होगा। 2 मिनट बाद हम फिर से हाजिर होंगे आप सभी के साथ, आत्मा से वार्तालाप करने के बाद। तो अब ये शुरू होता है, एंड इट स्टार्ट फॉर 2 मिनट। आप सभी का धन्यवाद, शुभकामनाएं इस शुभ अवसर पर यहाँ पर रहने के लिए। थैंक यू beautiful souls for being here, always with all the love in your heart and soul, dear ones, for all souls in existence. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute. Thank you. We, the Universal Council, invite the Keshe and the Universal family present at the earth to unify at the soul level every time, every day, starting from 9 p.m. CET, and then forward every 3 hours. And as we are always connected, it is always 9 p.m. is the moment we start. We are together. Thank you. And to give to our souls, to all souls in existence, to elevate in the level of understanding the ethos of Mitra, universal love, living life as a peaceful being, respecting all life and living equal, dear one. And of course, as Mark says, we are always connected. Feel the connection always, dear beautiful souls. When you are hiking, when you are cooking, when you are stitching, when you are loving, every moment in your life. Enjoy, beautiful souls. Thank you. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Sweta. Next, we have a video that we play about becoming a Universal Council member. It's an extract from the 576 Knowledge Seekers Workshop back in February of this year. I'll play that now.
There's something which I should have made announcement. As we are structuring in a new development of the Keshe Foundation, is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60, and they served during the 60 years. They are there till 61. To run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of any languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally, and we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply for to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture, that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation, or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear Rick. I also want to add, this is the time as we are here to serve, not to be served, dear beautiful souls, the key to be I am present. So welcome from all over the world to join the Universal Council and Universal Council support members, as we are all universal souls, dear beautiful souls. Welcome, welcome to Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, organization in the service of humanity now, and this is most needed now. So welcome, dear beautiful souls. Thank you. And we invite you to connect with a member of the Universal Council to send us your question to be answered live each week and or the needs of your community. As we know, everything is elevating. So we are all elevating, dear beautiful souls. So the Keshe Foundation web page, the Universal Council web page, and everything will be in the newness. So that we can interact with each other every time as universal beings. So as well, we are all learning. We are all knowledge seekers, beautiful souls. We can interact, have a message. We can share. We can teach each other. We can love each other in all the Telegram groups in all languages in Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Please give your message, share your message, ask something, we will ask something to you, and we'll carry on in this path of peace, dear beautiful soul. So join the Telegram group. Have your say in the languages you are from every community. So welcome again to the beautiful soul. Salam, namaste, salute. Thank you for joining us as one soul of peace. Thank you.
Okay, next we have an excerpt from the 617th Knowledge Seekers Workshop regarding announcements. And this is about 24 minutes. And we'll begin that now.
I sent you something very interesting, Rick, and this has happened in the past few hours. I have just signed a large number of these, as we've done with the other side, but this is sold. It'll be popping out on the, what we call a Chinese Keshe Foundation website, or you can go wait for it till the, what we call, our webmasters put it up sometime, maybe today, tomorrow. The Chinese books of the Keshe Foundation, the 3 books, have been completed and has been marketed as of today. There is in a language, a simple Chinese language, or in the, what we call, the traditional language, and it is now, I sent it to you, is in the hardback and in the, what we call, the softback in the Chinese language. It's the first time it's done by the reputable Obertold publication in China, and you can order the set as it is. And it is very nice. It's just been released today for the Chinese, or those of you who like to have a Chinese version of the book. It's sold as a set of 3. And hopefully our webmasters will put it on the English side, which goes directly delivered by the Chinese side of the Keshe Foundation operation.
Okay, let me get that image up here.
This is a lot of work by the Chinese community. They collectively have done a lot of work to get this done, all corrected, and it's the first time you see the official Keshe Foundation. It's mostly, it's a hardback with a very hard, what you call it, cover. I've just signed a batch of these today to go out. And if you're Chinese or you like to keep the Chinese version of, it's now available from now on. Any question?
Congratulations on that. That's a lot of Chinese people have been waiting for a while on that, I bet.
Yes, we have the same thing. We're waiting for the English, what they call it, the German and the French, and the rest to be done. Gradually, we're getting there, but these things takes a lot of time to be done. It's been worked on by the new head of the Keshe Foundation. He's done a lot of work with the team behind him to deliver these completed, and it's absolutely beautiful to see it in such a hard back and very professionally done. The hopefully first batch of the communication units, which you all participating in, should be out in next, God knows. We received the first, I think 7 or 8 was, we have already worked the first 10, The first 25 is getting released in the next few days or hours. And then once we load it, 25 of you will receive this in the coming days. And then you have to, you receive the antennas with it. We want to know, at least for a few weeks, how the emotion, now you're part of the network of knowledge seekers receiving the, you are used to receiving the internet waves, Wi-Fi and the rest of it. How would it affect you in being part of the, what we call Earth community for this? We are choosing selectively, especially to cover the maximum area on this planet that we can connect in the first 25. And then watch how these 25 for a few days or weeks, they interact. We want to see what we change now. For example, you're in this program, you're in this teaching, and we are, as those of you who are panelists, you can see the systems are open and now you're receiving a lot of energy. We're monitoring you on our systems. How your family, how your people in your area, in your place, now that you're connected across this planet together to one central system, one system which gives you the data for the game, for the coins, for knowledge, and the other one is connected at the same time to the field emotion, the conversion of the field energies, communication, connection of you lot together. We're feeding you both in the physicality and dimension of energy together now with the system. How your people in the home, your people in your city change. What do you notice? Or is it just you, because you have a system, you want to feel that way it is? And then in January, the next batch will go out. And then the next batch goes out. And now we are in the process of delivering. The manufacturers wants to deliver to us. I think it should be tomorrow or sometime next couple of days. And then we load up the software. Then we send you initially the mechanicals and what we call this the physical system that's like an internet. The game plays when you receive the second part, which you have to add to it, and then we bring physicality and the energy together in one system. How does it work? How would it bring changes? And once we feed the system by itself, that you are independent of any energy source. So the system physically as an internet system and the system as an energy system in a dimension of plasma come together in one box, and then you have you lot around. How does it work? We pinpoint to the point of accuracy to the nations, the places we send it to, and we watch the protocol, the dimension of the reactions, field changes. And then the next lot, and the next lot, till we reach the 10,000 unit, which our specialists think is the balance field. I watch the internet informations which is coming out in hacking and destroying, and I keep on seeing, I post it to our team and say, this is why we're using this unit, because then we cannot be done this to us and that to us. That's the new way. So do we go with our communication side on the computer side, link up with the emotion side, link up with the energy side, and bring a new dimension that you first 25 will bring the change across this planet. Units go from South Africa to Australia to China to South America to North America, across Europe, in Asia, and then we'll see how things change. What happened to the next 25? And then we build up a network. You look for how we can cover the data. If we get hacked, we looked at the energy side of the system cannot be hacked, because it's there to give, it's there to bring the change. And this is interesting, because what we set out 20 years ago in patterns and the rest now has become a reality. Would we, as in the dimension of you're looking at what data comes into these boxes, us in controlling the information data energy side, decide to release the energy of peace right across this planet, even with 25 of you. Then next month, 50 of you, the month after, 100 of you. How, as you are spread across this planet, create a new sphere of peace? It's pulsed on you. This is not a dream anymore. You paid for it. We are delivering it. We are delivering the field strength of peace to every inch of this planet. The dog receives it. The king receives it. The man receives it ill in the hospital. And what enlightenment will bring us? This is not theory. It might happen. You supported us, and we are making it to happen. We still need a lot of support to make the 10,000 to be there. And hopefully, step by step, we get there. Because now, once the system go out, once our antennas go in, the pulse of peace and the beacon of peace will go out 24 hours a day and night. What effect will have on our world leaders? What effect have on the dog, on the fish? I said recently, I wish one of the knowledge seekers had a submarine become buried in the sand and beacon it to change the citizens of the water world. In the coming time, in our negotiations with some nations, we asked them to take one of these into space. And this is how the process will start. And this is how we would structure our future collectively. It's not a talk anymore. It's that beacon of creating world peace will start beating. The first 10 sets to do the physical side. This setup is getting done. Now, the first 25 in next couple of weeks. And then it comes the physical side and the emotional side. Would we create a physical dimension which has emotion as part of it, as part of the structure of the system? Would somebody come to hack it, first get hit by the energy of peace? Forget about it, cannot do it. This is the reality of us. And a fact of if we can create this pulse of peace, we know exactly how to create it. If you bought any Christmas products or Halloween products, part of the package of the ornament you receive carries peace energy. The chessboard carries the peace energy. Now, if we can change that in your hand, now with the delivery of the cosmic ray antennas, we can deliver it to the system and we can create that change. What does the cosmic ray of universe has had on us as a race, as a planet, and the citizens of being a dog, the tree, the man, and the rest of it. And we will see. Hopefully before the end of this year, next 4 or 6 weeks, the first beacons of peace, 25 of them, will go across this planet. And we shall see. And you are hit by it, you don't have a line to escape. Any other question?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. You have a kind of a tough question from Marco from the Brazilian community. It says COP30, which is taking place in Brazil, has the mission of developing sustainable energy sources. Why is the Keshe Foundation not participating, since it would be an opportunity to showcase plasma science?
We're not invited. And secondly, do we want to be in that position? Yesterday, we received an invitation from the Austrian government's section to participate in CERN, in the exhibition or whatever, first time ever. When we went to the site, they want €3,000 per ticket. Are they there to share the technology? Are they there to make money? And I said to myself, we are sharing knowledge, everything free, 7 days a week. Where shall we put the price on it? They say you come and learn, blah, 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 blah. But it's we're not invited. Oh, we really don't get into that. And if you look in these kind of things, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of millions are asking for your name to be there or you participate in anything. Any other question?
Okay, thank you. We have a sort of a challenge question from Hong, who says, "Dear Mr. Keshe, could you, in an overview fashion, weave together the following: energy, mass, inertia, soul of the man, soul of the physicality, emotion, cosmic rays, hydrogen, and transmutation, and speak to them as a whole?"
Yeah, call it the man.
Okay.
It's got all of it and has a brain. We can talk to it, but it doesn't listen. As I was talking about this unit, we know in the inertia of love, we have developed, we understand it now. And I had to go through a session of deep thinking in the past few days in what is love and how do you love a person. And it came to my head that, as I said, we send the frequency of peace. Why not to use, we have the opportunity to let the whole world fall in love with each other. What game that will play. Subconsciously on the televisions, as we know, years ago, they played one flash of Coca-Cola and everybody got up and went to have a Coca-Cola and they made it illegal. What about now in the dimensional field of energy, plasmatic energy, we send the pulse of love. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how will affect the humanity. Would we change? Because nobody is immune anymore to the game we'll play of peace, hunger, and everything else. As I said before, if our team completely delivers what it is, and we're bringing scientists around the world to do this,
We got you by the short and careless, as we say in English. There is no way left. There is no path left. Gradually to share. If you notice a few years ago, we went out with a message that we want to set up a structure with the Chinese government to bring both scientists to be that we can share the knowledge. And within a few weeks after that became the attitude of the Chinese government that sharing the technology, sharing the knowledge. Nothing is coincidental. Now, what about if once we create a pulse of peace, and then it's 10,000 of these units, and you're hammered every day, instead of getting up to get a Coca-Cola, kiss your neighbor, fall in love with the tree, and the tree falls in love with you, which has a soul, and the dog, instead of biting you, comes and kisses you. Can we do that? It's possible. We're on the verge of breakthrough science. We are not theoretical because these units, as you see, is built. The antennas is getting built and they're getting connected, and they're all connected to one central system that sends the message of love and peace. Who's going to jump it? Would it even start working with the 25? Would it be one in the centers of the governments, each unit? London, Washington, Tehran, Los Angeles, Brazil, Mexico, South Africa. And these waves, as they connect these units together, pass the soul of world leaders. Would we see the change of the soul? We hear new communications say, now suddenly become, but doesn't even say it's just because the Keshe Foundation released this, and there's, in a way, you're beating on the head of it. Peace, 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 love, 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 love. And the energy of the soul in a plasmatic way. We don't need to take the credit. We are there to facilitate. As I said, if I do it, it becomes us. We are doing it. You knowledge seekers are paying for this unit to bring that position. And we are there. I'm sure some of you, once you receive the unit, you put it on your testimonial. You put it on, I've received my unit. These units, in so many ways, will connect it directly into the cosmic ray balls you received. So those of you who bought the cosmic ray balls, you are becoming the beacons of another connection in the link of. Game is extensive. This is played very directly. Would the world leaders will just talk about a peace? Would the world leaders bring that change? You are the knowledge seekers. Your universal points, cosmic ray balls, all connect to each other. Without you knowing, you got yourself in a big mesh of changing humanity. Now, when we tested those units with Thursday sessions and once a year Friday sessions, and you wrote, I feel peaceful, I feel this and that. Now, what you felt is beacon across this planet. That's why we stopped the monthly sessions, because I achieved what I wanted and confirmed the process. You lot fell in love, you stopped addictions and everything else. All I need when the 25 unit goes to 50 to 100 to 10,000, send the same energy fields. We know what's this to be in the plasmatic condition of the addiction. Do we need to invade another nation, accusation of the drugs when there are no customers for it? Don't need to. Now you see how extensively You helping us to put these units across this planet will bring that. The computers will give you the sense of physicality. The cosmic ray antennas will bring the play of the game of the soul, and then everything goes as it should be. As I said, let's play the game. The game has started. And I thank the team in the background who's working to bring this together. From different nations, different cultures are working in the background to make this possible. And I thank them from every effort done and every support they have given day and night to bring in. And you will see as humanity the result of their work.
All right, that brings to close that part of the knowledge from the 617th. We have a second part as well, I believe, later. Okay, let's go back to our presentation. And now we have the what's called the knowledge and understanding from the 618th Knowledge Seekers Workshop, which is the last one we had on November 27th. And I've got...
Rick, if we can skip back to this, knowledge and
okay.
understanding.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
In that case, we're brought to time for transmutation with Marshvek, Shweta, and others.
All right, so let's get into transmutation. I'm Mosvik, representing Bengali language as a Universal Council support member. So we talked about creator in the shape of beautiful women creating these beautiful laces at the fringe of her dress. So we have heard in our teachings that in order to manifest something, there needs to be juxtaposition or place simultaneously the field of joy and sorrow together. One being the magnetical, other being the gravitational. So how do we understand this simultaneous presence of gravitational and magnetical and the manifestation? So let's think of we are sending out magnetical field flow. It started at a certain, let's say we wanted to create a field. So it is emanating from us. Now, this is magnetical. Now, if by some means we can place another field which prevents this flow. And because it is preventing the flow, the pressure builds up in this secondary element is there. And then after a certain point, this pressure is not enough to hold it. So it retreats. And the pressure, the original flow starts resuming. And slowly the pressure buildup diminishes. And so the flow is continuing since the pressure is no longer there. And at some point, when it is low enough, that means when there is not enough field to maintain this magnetic field flow, we bring in the other pressure again. And then the sorrow, the gravitational coming towards us. So it again builds up pressure. So from the bottom, from the lowest point, it rises again. The pressure builds up again, and then it comes down. So you can think of is a wave is forming. The pressure is building up, going down to a certain point, and the pressure coming in. That is because that's the magnetical side. And as we introduce the gravitational again, the pressure builds up. So the wave is going up and down and up and down. So we all understand this part. We see how the pressure is building up and going down, and we have a wave. Now, what can we do with the wave? So for that, let me draw a picture. So for that, I have to share my drawing program. So I'm going to do that. So let's try and do that. Okay. Hang on a second. Okay. So let me share the drawing program. Hang on a second. The drawing program did not start. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. Okay. So we start the drawing program. We share the drawing. I'm sharing the drawing program. So sure. Can we see it? Yes. So let's see. So let's try to draw this wave. It is starting from some point and going up and down and up and down, up and down. This is the wave. It's going. Okay, let's see. I'm using mouse to draw it, so it will be a little jagged with some jagged edge, but it's okay. So we remove the fill pattern. So this is our wave going this way. I'll just draw an arrow. It's going this way. So the wave is starting from this point. It's going up because of the field pressure. And as the field pressure diminishes, the flow starts happening, and the pressure diminishes, and then it goes up again as we introduce the pressure. So the flow, the buildup is happening from, this is the point from where the buildup is happening, and I just drew a circle, kind of, and it's going in the direction of the arrow, and the pressure is coming from the other direction. The force that is holding the, preventing the flow is coming from the other direction. So this is a wave it's familiar thing. If we drop a stone in a pool of water, we see this kind of waves. Now, what happens in a pool of water and when these kind of waveforms, eventually these waves hit the shore or some boundary and it comes back. So if we didn't have that, boundary, the wave would eventually die down. We're all familiar with this phenomena when we drop a stone in water. Now, because of the boundary, the wave reflects back. And it can cause disturbance in the wave that was coming from the source to the boundary to diminish. But under certain circumstances, when the distance between the two is such that the reflecting wave matches, so I'm going to change the color. Let's change the color. Let me change the color of my pen. So let's change the color of the pen. I just made it red. So in that case, it's a different color, but now this is the returning wave, which is okay. Let's see the filling part. I'll keep the filling part the same way. Now this wave is going the other way. So I'll just use the red part to differentiate the two waves. But if this returning wave matches the original wave, then it is going to sustain the other wave, which in the technical world is called standing wave. So the wave is, because of the reflection in the original wave, it's forming a pattern which is not diminishing, which is just holding there. The source is creating the original blue wave, and the reflection is creating the reflecting back red wave. But the two together is, the red one is matching the blue wave. So it's just forming, it forms a static pattern of wave. And this is called the standing wave. And it's well known in the world of our current science. So if we can maintain, that means something is static. Everything is in motion, but the resulting formation is static. It has peaks and valleys. So the wave is it's as if the wave is statically staying there, and it's not going away. So what is happening? It is with the two combinations. First is we are creating this wave by preventing the magnetical to flow and building pressure that forms the wave. And then we are creating a boundary which is somewhat at a longer distance from the source, and that is creating the reflection back. And if we place the boundary in such a way that this kind of matching of the two waves happen, we have a standing wave that's not going away, it's just staying there. And that is our inertial pattern. It is standing there, and once the pattern is standing there, that's the beginning of the manifestation process. The energy is such that nothing is changing. It's holding. Much like any of our physical manifestation. It's flow. It's always flow. But by holding it together in one position, we have the situation of manifestation. This is the inertial condition on which matter is created. And this is a very simple way of describing it. And we can see these kind of things in real life. But in the end, these standing waves that we see as material manifestation, it originates from motion and field flow and pressure buildup in the field. So we have heard these things over and over again, that the pressure condition in the field creates manifestation. So I'm trying to explain this in a very simple way, how the standing wave is the static pattern of the material manifestation. So today I'm going to kind of leave it at this place, and we can think about it. And since we are talking about at this point, this is the current topic of this discussion of manifestation of field energy from our soul. So this is a very simple depiction of how from these flows where there is ebb and flow, pressure buildup, pressure diminishing, that we can have static things out of a dynamic condition. And for that, we need application of two sets of magnetical and gravitational. One causing the wave to form, another causing the wave to reflect back. We'll go more into it and even connect with the lace patterns that I have talked about in the last One Nation, One Planet, One Race meeting. And you'll see that this simple idea of wave staying there is all over the place. We ourselves is such a situation. Anyway, I'll leave it at this point, and then we can think about it, let it percolate in our mind, and then we look at it in further detail. It's not in further detail in how this little idea connects with the bigger aspect of manifestation. And we'll see how this pool of wave in a pool of water, waves in a pool of water, how that becomes the material objects we are so used to. Hopefully this is a very simple way of getting to it, but we don't think of things this way, so it might get a little bit, it might need a little bit of adjustment, but in terms of magnetical and gravitational field combination. So the boundary is also a force. We have to think on the stone falling in the water is creating force. The boundary is also creating force. So those two are form a set of magnetical and gravitation. And then there is the other one that's forming, other set that's forming the wave. So I'm repeating a few things in different ways, but you get the picture. Anyway, I'll leave it I'll keep the wave standing, and next time we will see how standing wave can become a bit more interesting and beautiful. With that beautiful standing wave there in our mind, I leave you here. Thank you very much. And if you have any question, I can answer.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you, my dear Maushmi. What I understand is the standing wave as we are now, in a way, the wave that started originally from the universal unified field of the soul, like the stone, the boundaries also creating, and deep into physicality we merged in a way. But when we followed the path of peace, we understand how peace is at individually and a collective level also as souls. Now we understand the standard wave, the constant, as of course universe is in motion. So we understand the original matching wave. Now we are creating this, and we can understand this beauty of the standard wave, and like the path of peace is now here because we understand that in a way, starting to understand. So I always thank you so much, my dear Moshfik. Really, this is if we say this is simple, but if we understand in this gravitational and magnitude way, this is structure is very complex, like the waves, the ripples, and the ripples, the last ripple creating more ripples. We have in these ripples, we are still now, but we understand how to create the standard wave. As we said, I love you, my soul. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute, my dear. Thank you.
Okay, back at our presentation here. Let's see, I haven't the enlightenment and network systems and so on announcements from the 618th Knowledge Seekers Workshop.
We can skip this too also because we can do this in the upcoming One Planet, One Race.
Okay.
Thank you.
That brings us to the needs and wishes then.
Thank you, my dear. Before the needs and wishes, any sharing or any questions? Well, we are all knowledge seekers. They are so much welcome, beautiful souls. You are.
We did have a question that'll probably, well, I'll bring it over to the Knowledge Seekers Workshop, but we could also address it here from Tony in the YouTube, who says, Good morning, Mr. Keshe. Was there ever a civilization that didn't consume food?
Yes, partially. I am just saying, yes, partially. There were energies, there were hierarchy souls or ascended souls at that time. There was this duality of, there was never a complete, because all souls, most of the souls are initiated in this physicality. So consuming food is a way always, but there are energies, there are ascended beings, those who work on energy, those who are guiding the civilization or the manifestation also. They have never consumed food, and people like that now also here in this moment live many mountains in many caves. They don't consume food. They are physically they are here, but they don't consume food. They know the law of the universe and how to follow, and the ethos of Mitra. So they are not consuming food till now also, and these are ascended beings, I will say, soul beings. So there was never a civilization that didn't consume food completely. There was never a civilization like that. In my what I know, yes, of course, it can be asked in the knowledge seeker workshop also. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, my dear. So, any more sharing or question, dear Rick?
I think that's it, Shweta.
Oh, thank you. And we will hear the announcement again in the next upcoming One Planet, One Nation, One Race. So thank you. Thank you for asking questions. We are all knowledge seekers learning. This is an interaction. So the needs and wishes, beautiful souls from the community. We, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet. Our wish is our command. We are present. We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of the leaders involved in conflicts in Sudan and other areas only by greed with unconditional love and inner peace, so that they respect the lives of all populations because they are sovereign and free. Our wish is our command. We are present.
Rick, there was another wish we didn't get to read, and I'd like to read it in this part. This was one of the wishes we were going to read earlier. I don't know why it didn't come up, but it does seem appropriate here. We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders and the population throughout the American continent to live in harmony, respecting each nation as equal. These are our wishes, and our wishes we command.
We, the Universal Council, give freely from our soul to elevate the soul of the leaders to achieve peace in the Middle East now. We, the Universal Council, give from our soul for protection of those living in fear in natural disaster areas, and our soul wish to help cover all emotional and physical needs.
Thank you so much. We are here to serve, not to be served. Beautiful souls, the key to all. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome again into the beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Suswagatam into the beautiful energy of all universal souls we are. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the beautiful energy of all souls in existence. Dear beautiful souls, be present in this moment. Enjoy, celebrate the birth of new era, the birth of the daughter of Mitra, the birth of all love, universal love. Thank you so much for being here always. Join, follow, come home, dear beautiful souls, to Keshe Foundation. Thank you for being here always. The Universal Council. Salam, Namaste, Salam.
All right, very good. Thank you, Shweta, and thanks, of course, to all the members and support members of the Universal Council who work to not only present these workshops, but work in the background to give their heart and soul into the progress of this transmutation that is occurring on our planet, and thank them for the work they do. All right, well, that brings to a close our 407th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. We'll be back next week at the same time and place, so far as we know. And our next public teaching workshop will be the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which I host every week, starting at 7 a.m. on Wednesdays. That'll be December 3rd, tomorrow. And it's open to members of the public who would like to show their plasma technology they may have put together, or if they have questions or things they would like to discuss. We're open to various topics in that workshop. And of course, we have the Knowledge Seekers workshop coming up on Thursday, the 4th. And that'll be with Mr. Keshe, as per usual. And as far as we know, that'll be at the 9 a.m. Central European time. Okay, I think that's it, other than thank you, everybody, for being here today. And we'll go out
There is
there.
a testimony. Mark has posted testimonial meeting. You have to.
Oh, yes. Okay, thank you, Mark.
Oh,
Yes, we have a public meeting for testimonials, it's called, on the 12th, or sorry, the 8th coming up, Monday. It's always the second Monday of the month, and this one comes up rather quickly because the first was the first Monday. So a reminder that if anybody has something they would like to present, or at least get your words recorded in as far as experiences of the plasma technology, whether it's something physical or something emotional. We take all kinds of testimonies, and you're welcome to attend that meeting. There's always an interesting variety of testimonials come up of all kinds. So again, that's on the 8th coming up, and that starts at the 8 p.m. Central European time. Okay, anything else? Going once?
No.
Going twice?
Start to celebrate. Testimony for dance and clap, clap.
Okay, well, that will require
Your
our
beautiful
flight
soul.
enhancement spaceship unit music version.
Thank you. Thank you. Clap, clap, and dance.
I'm always
Beautiful
happy
souls,
to play
joy.
here.
We enjoy.
Thank you, Shweta, for that introduction, and thank you, everybody, again for being here. And thanks, Mark, for being co-host once again and always reminding me about the things that need to be reminded of. And yeah, bye, everyone. See you next time around.